Teju, the apple tree will not grow in Lagos because it was never intended for the soils of Lagos. But plant coconut, it will thrive. I was born to live here, and so are you. But people go where they will survive, and that was all you did. But if you had come to me today to say to me, ẹ̀gbọ́n mò ń lọ o, I will probably not have said to you what I said at that time. Not because I will still believe that you were better off abroad. No, I still believe you are better off in Nigeria. But as you have heard me say, the first person who used that word escape was Seun Anikulapo. He said, "No, people are not migrating, they are escaping." The reality is that the Nigerian abroad is escaping, is not migrating. That you decided to leave at the time you did is a reflection of the wisdom you found in understanding the environment in which you have found yourself. It is not that anything is intricately wrong with seeking greener pastures in other climes. But I am telling you that in all of my travels, and I've been to a few countries around the world, and I have never come across a single Nigerian who has told me that they are happy to be outside of Nigeria, but they have left because Nigeria has constrained them and rendered it very difficult for them to actualize themselves or to fulfill their potential. So it is the constraints of Nigeria that has led a lot of people to leave Nigeria. So the wisdom of your decision is unquestionable. But I am not sure that a day passes without you looking back at Nigeria. I'm not sure you can ever be happy if you had to cut yourself off completely from the mad country that you left behind. But when you speak with me and I tell you, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ẹgbọ́n ti lọ, the wise ones have left, it is the truth. The objective reality is that there is nothing about Nigeria to suggest that those of us who have stayed behind are sane. You actually have to be insane to have a choice about leaving Nigeria and then elect not to go. You actually have to be functionally insane to remain in Nigeria. In fact, it is my thesis and argument that if you truly want to know the insane Nigerian, look to the ones who have a choice as to where they will live and who can afford to live abroad but elect to stay behind in Nigeria. Anyone you know who can afford to live abroad and has refused to go and has stayed behind is a madman. The person has to be insane. Yes, now, the person has to be insane. How can you exercise a choice to remain in a place that is as functionally crazy as our country has become? Everything that should not happen, every abnormality has been normalized in our space. Everything that shouldn't happen is happening in this place. Everything. And yet, we all carry on as if it is completely normal. So, yes, I don't believe that it is right for a Nigerian to leave Nigeria and go abroad, especially America, because even the blacks who were born there, who are fourth and fifth generation, are not accorded the full rights of a human being. When the system can find its way to deal with them the way it is structured to deal with them, it still deals with them as though they are still enslaved. So as bad as he bad, the Nigerian soldier look at me too, I can shakara him. He doesn't know who my father is. If it comes down to that level, we can shakara each other. May God rest Pius Adesomi in his bosom. I read a piece that he wrote some years before he died, how he would have to drive all the way into the Canadian bush to go and hoot his horn. You know, he hadn't been hearing car horn, so he would drive into the forest to go and press his horn so that he can hear it, because it's too normal and sane in that place, and he's not used to the normalcy and sanity. We are Nigerians. Sanity is far from us. because our country does not allow us the luxury of sanity. That is just the reality.
So you've described yourself herein as being an insane person.
If I was sane, why would I be in Nigeria? I have to be insane to be here now. Look, sanity is an handicap. If you are too sane in Nigeria, okay, let me tell you something. If you want to know how insane we are, drive into a roundabout in Nigeria. You are driving into the roundabout, you know that the person in the roundabout has the right of way and you are waiting for him to go. He is abusing you for not moving. The one behind you is hunting for you. Were law. The person who has the right of way is telling you, Olori buruku ko shikuro now, because he doesn't know that he's the one who has right of way. So now when you are confronted with that, how can you talk about it being sane? A policeman, in Yoruba language, you call a policeman Olopa. Olopa means the bearer of the staff. The staff that he bears is the king's authority, is the symbol of the king's authority. So the policeman is essentially the symbol of the authority of the state because he's the enforcer of the state's laws. Policeman, a creation of law, turns his gun on you, a citizen, and he tells you, I will shoot you and nothing will happen. So the person who should enforce the law is the one who is declaring the state of impunity, and you tell me that's a sane environment. What is sane about that? If a policeman should say that to you in America, he will lose his job. Even in the most racist part of America, if you catch him on camera turning his gun on a citizen or even an immigrant or even a goat, if he would dare to turn his gun on a dog and shoot the dog, he will lose his job. But in Nigeria, nothing will happen. He's told you the truth. He will kill you and nothing will happen. This Nigerian Senate padded the budget, 3.7 trillion. No. What has happened? Nothing. So are we sane? How can we be sane and that will be happening in our country and nothing? Have you seen any reaction on our street? Nothing will happen. Nothing. So we can lie to ourselves and pretend that everything is hunky-dory, but the reality is that nothing is sane or normal about our existence. Our objective reality speaks to madness. We can ignore it, we can pretend it's not the case, but that is the truth.